Hey guys, welcome back. Searching for Scary. Thank you for joining me again. Uh, Coming back to you with some new picks. Like always, I'm gonna have a book, a comic, and a movie for you to read if you are a horror fan. This week, I am doing action horror, which honestly, if you ask me, could be like its own subgenre of horror. I know a lot of people who love action horror, like my wife included. She'll love stuff with horror that's just like action and maybe even sci-fi stuff. But if you just give her like a true slasher, she's not into it. So I like it. It's very intriguing. I think there's a lot of people out there that love action horror and not like strictly horror itself. Um, Either way, let's get into it. And again, as always, I try to keep kind of your price range and budget. So I want to get some things in here that are one, affordable, two, accessible. So there's no point in me giving you something that is, maybe you could buy it for $10, but the print and run was like 10 books. You know what I mean? You got to be able to get this thing for me to really pitch it out to you. And lastly, I do like to give stuff that maybe you haven't heard of, you haven't seen, it hasn't come across your radar. I think this week there probably will be at least one item that you've seen or heard of before. It's kind of recent. But if you're into horror, I think you'll kind of get why I'm pitching it out there, and well, we'll see what happens. So, first thing here is a book, and I don't know why this book did not get a lot of traction. I really enjoyed it. This is called Extinction Horizon. Um, just to kind of let you know up front, this is a series, and I believe the entire series is about 6 to 7 books. And I say 6 to 7 because it's 6 for sure, but there is a 7th that's like a preface, something like that. And that one I have not picked up. I haven't really no intention of picking that up. But the main series itself is really good. So as you can tell from the cover here, it's like a military-related kind of horror thing. So the book focuses on one man and his team. And I apologize, I'm forgetting what their special forces are, but they are special forces. I want to say they're like Green Berets or something. And their very first mission in this book is to try and infiltrate a building where they believe some sort of virus has escaped, and essentially the tower of the building that they're in has gone dark. So that's the preface, the plot, and obviously this thing gets out of control, or so not be 6 books. So it's really, really good. It's really fast paced. If you like anything that's I don't know, let's say like zombies, virus related, stuff like that. Even like in a year like last year where we had, COVID, it was still interesting to read this and just kind of get a look at how people thought or, perceived pandemics to be prior to COVID, because this book was written prior to 2020. It's really, really good. Like I said, it's really fast paced. It's one of those things where once you get into it, you really won't want to put it down. And the good thing is, it's not like this overly complex kind of plot line where you have to read like all 6 books in one sitting or you're going to forget. Like I can tell you personally, I read this book and then I didn't get part 2 for like 3 to 4 months. And I picked it up and had no problem just kind of getting right back into the storyline. So if you're like, hey, I can only get one at a time, or maybe I can buy 2 or 3, but I don't want to invest everything at once, totally fine. Get one, read it, make sure you like it first of all. But secondly, just really no rush on getting through the end of it, because each book itself is a really good standalone book. Like you get to the end of or you get a conclusion for whatever's going on with that book, but it does leave you with the sense that yes, there is more going on here. So again, really good book, really great for horror fans because it does deal with the virus. It's like body horror. They're not zombies, but they are something. If you're familiar with the term clickers, it's kind of a mix of like clickers and zombies and the whole virus spiel. It's really good. Give it a shot. $10 at Amazon. You can still find this in some other bookstores like Barnes and Nobles and maybe like a half price books, and you can probably get it for cheaper. But Amazon is just the fastest way to get it. Next is your comic. This is the one I think maybe most people have heard of. This is if you're into comics. It's called Nocterra. I'm gonna be honest with you. I bought this book. Or I bought the comic book and had really no interest in reading it. It was totally just a buy, and I was maybe hoping that the book would be worth something at some point because it's number 1. A lot of times, you wait a couple months and you can sell it for, $8-10. just because people are trying to get their hands on it, and they only make so many. As of right now, this book is only, I want to say, like 2 months old, if that, and it's still like $4 pretty much anywhere. If you buy it on eBay, if you buy it, from the comic book shop, wherever you can get it, it's like $4 if you can find it. That being said, it is really, really good. I finally read it just a few days ago after it sitting in my closet for like a month. It's really, really good. So they're up to issue 3, and I think issue 4 comes out in a few weeks here. But so the premise of this is that the girl that's on this cover was a kid, and it's her and her kid brother. And one day when they're coming home from school, the sun just disappears. Everything goes dark. They really don't know why initially. It's just everything goes dark, which is a scary enough kind of plot line. But what they find out is that if you are in the dark for too long, and obviously like no light, you will change into something else. And it's not just humans. Any sort of living organism, even plants, if they are out too long, they start morphing and changing, and it's what's called the shade. And so there's like these like deformed animals, plants. There's like a deformed deer, I think they show, and dogs and cats and all their sort of stuff like monsters. So if you go out into the dark, you basically have to have like a guide. And the girl on this cover is a guide. She's actually like a truck driver that will drive people from one, area to the next and kind of get them there safely, or try to. And she's like a total badass that can fight stuff and shoot stuff, and it's great. It's her and her brother, and that's really just issue 1. And so issue 2 and 3, if you happen to see these somewhere like at a comic book store, just get all 3 of them. It's going to cost you like $12. It's totally worth it. If you like action, if you like horror, kind of like that premise sounds something you're interested in, get it. I can promise you you're gonna like it. If you don't like it, you can resell it for at least your money back. It's really awesome. And there is like one primary, quote unquote bad guy that's after her. There is some revelations in, I believe, book 3 that makes this even more of a horror story. Like 1 and 2 seems like it could just be like a sci-fi kind of trippy book. Book 3 really brings it home and tells you, no, this is a true horror story. You need to be aware of what's in here. Lastly, though, is the movie, and this is Beelzebub, I think is how you pronounce it. Again, more of an action movie than a horror movie. Basically, this is a child who's supposed to be like the reincarnation of Christ, and him and his mother are trying to escape the devil. Devil is trying to hunt them down and kill the baby before they can bring, salvation to the world again. Really good. It's really just like a high-speed chasing movie. Really awesome. Give it a watch. It's on Shudder for free with your subscription. Either way, guys, I hope that was some good information. Hope you found something that you want to watch or read this week. But as always, keep it scary. Thank you for giving me a couple of minutes of your time, and have a great day.